Hey everyone, this is your host Chris G from Blurred's Eye View. And if you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Here, let me explain. First, it's free. You definitely can't beat that. Plus, there's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership, and it's everything you need to make a podcast and more. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. All right. Hey, everybody. This is Chris Fury for Blurred's Eye View. How's it going, everybody? Blurred's Eye View is a podcast that talks about everything between gaming, comics, anime, television, film, and everything in between. With me tonight is our co-host, Darius DC Chambers. We're minus a person. I wonder what.
I wonder what Brandy's what escapade she's doing.
Yeah, so for those who are watching, this is my co-host Darius DC Chambers, and we normally have a third party, our cosplay diva Brandy Blocker, but she's out on handling some business. We hope. We ain't hating. Get your butt back here, get some work done, baby. We got a lot of stuff that's happened this past. Let me see. We took 2 weeks off? Well, a week off. We took a week off, and we were supposed to graduate yesterday. We were supposed to have our ceremony yesterday, and COVID put a stop to that.
Yeah, you get that email and that call when you get ready to get suited and booted and go have a night out with the stars. It just sucks.
Yeah, I had the whole thing mapped up and planned out, and yeah, that was a lot of fun. But anyway, a lot of things was been going down in the pop culture world. You know, we got some stories about Xbox X and the PS5 that dropped this week. Smoking reviews, and I'm not talking about Courtney's show.
Yeah,
we'll touch on that a little bit later. That was something interesting. Some words about Johnny Depp, which sucks. Warner Brothers asked him to step down, basically to resign from his role in the Fantastic Beasts movie that they're filming or trying to film, due to the legal ramifications he's having with his soon-to-be ex-wife Amber Heard. You know, this is a shitty situation because you know, the first part of the case that he had, it was ruled in his favor. You know, it was, you know, she kept trying to make him seem like he was a woman beater or a wife beater and everything else, and it turned out she was the crazy one. You know, it turned out she was the aggressor and everything else, and he had video proof and pictures and all types of crazy stuff, and yet he has been asked to resign from his role, and that sucks. But it doesn't suck completely because he has a pay or play contract rule, which states that whether or not they make the movie or whether they recast the role, he still gets paid in full.
10 million in them bags.
Yeah, so he came off pretty easy, man. I mean, I don't want to say came off easy, but it's, you know, it sucks. And this is the part where it sucks. You know, he's being asked to resign from that role. Meanwhile, over at Aquaman 2, Amber Heard still keeps her job. This is touchy stuff, you know, because, you know, I hate to say it, but if the shoe was on the other foot, then he would be getting called out. You know, if he was actually the aggressor and everything else, and you know, you still have like the Me Too movement and a lot of the feminist movements going on. That's a double-edged sword. That, you know, and you know, you got to call it what it is. You know, if she's the aggressor, then maybe she should be the one that suffer behind it. You know, that's not cool though. But yeah, there was that. In other news, Marvel, well, Disney, let's put it this way, Disney purchased or registered 2 production names. One of them is called Grass-Fed Productions, and the other one is Solve Everything Productions. Now, from what little research I've done, Grass-Fed Productions can mean, at least to me, one thing. It could be meaning they're using that production house grass-fed is meant to be how humans are treated by vampires, like being grass-fed. You know, they're being bred basically to feed vampires. So I'm thinking Blade. You know, since it's words coming down the pipe that Blade's not going to actually be a movie, it's going to be a series, which I'm okay with. You know,
yeah, I heard Wesley Snipes supposed to be a part of it.
Yeah, they said he is. He's supposed to show up, but they didn't to say what capacity. He's obviously not playing Blade, so there's that. The other half is the Solve Everything Productions. Now, I think this one picks up a little more steam for the simple fact that this could be meaning Fantastic Four. And I say this because Jonathan Hickman, who's a great writer, he writes for Marvel several times. I think he still does. And he did an entire story arc. He wrote Fantastic Four for about 8 years, 2008 to 2016. And he had this huge story arc. And part of the story arc was Reed Richards had found a solution to solve all of their problems. And he found that solution by convening with the Interdimensional Council of Reeds, which was
sounds like
Rick
and Morty.
Rick and Morty, exactly. You know, and it's funny you mentioned that because that's what it was. It's almost a take like Rick and Morty did the same exact thing. You know, the Council of Ricks, right? And so, all the arrows are pointing to that being a Fantastic Four thing, and you know they're really hush hush over there at Disney, you know, with everything that they have going on with their Marvel properties. They're playing it pretty close to the chest. I don't know, but it's a safe bet to say that might be the case. So
sounds good.
Yeah, I think it sounds great. You know, we finally got a release date for WandaVision. And unfortunately, it's not this year. This will be the first time that Marvel hasn't had anything released since what, 2008 or 9.
Before they started the Iron Man.
Oh, yeah, they've been going full steam and like they've come to a full stop in March, you know, thanks to COVID. This has jammed so much up. This sucks. And like, I mean, we're yeah, of course, if you're watching Disney Plus, you're watching The Mandalorian, but like, no movie theaters, no films, no anything. Everything keeps getting pushed back. I don't know. My summer's been scrapped.
Yes.
And apparently, well, you know, with the rise of the Rona Part 2, this is sucking, man. I don't know what you think.
It's shaping out to be a shitty year for the superhero culture that was picking up steam, because you know it was a genre that everybody was like, oh, it can't last and they can't keep making movies, and sooner or later people are going to get tired of it. It's becoming to where people aren't getting tired of it, but it's like out of sight, out of mind. You got to keep pushing stuff back 2-3 times. It's going to get to the point where people are just going to lose interest if it's not in front of them like it was for the last 10 years.
Yeah. It's kind of a ball sack of suck. I don't know if that's actually, it's going to be a term now, because
yeah, fuck it. You know, let's start throwing words out there. It's been that kind of year where we can make up any narrative that we want.
Well, yeah. If it sticks. I mean, you know, there's certain parties who shall not be named who seems to throw things out there just to see if they stick. So we're just kind of watching it. The release date, I believe, is January for WandaVision, January of 2020. So, I mean, even though it's not coming this year, it's coming. And, you know, really, they just did something kind of unprecedented. They actually filmed, I think they said their first episode in front of a live studio, partially in front of a live studio audience, because if you've seen the trailer, it kind of gives you a vibe like Wanda is on a television show. Yeah. And they kind of had to, you know, so I guess they're going to get an actual laugh track, you know, just for that episode, you know, obviously. If you know anything about Scarlet Witch, you know that she is mentally not the most stable of people. I say that because she is in love with an android. So, and that's just part of it. That's
the starter.
Yeah, that's just the starter. You know, she's considered an omega level mutant. So this is very true. I think the mental instability is just the part that kind of knocks her down a peg. But I mean, let's face it, we've seen her in Endgame. She very well looked like she could have held her own against Thanos had he not called rain fire. Like, he literally took the bitch move on that one.
He definitely went weak on that one.
Yeah.
He was just like, you know what? I'm not going to win this. Let's just do a kamikaze and whatever.
Everybody died. He's like, everybody dies on this one, you know. And I mean, if people are going to make the argument of like, well, she couldn't do it. She couldn't do it in Infinity War. I'm like, actually, she was still holding him back while taking out a stone out of her lover's forehead, you know. So, and with one hand, mind you. So, you know, now that grief, even though the grief of her losing Vision was still there, now it's turned into anger. You know, at the first time they met up, it was despair. It was despair. It was anguish, despair. It was fear. Yeah. But now it looks like it's straight anger. And she's like,
a whole lot of rage.
she was ready to tear him a new one. So I mean, it's yeah. Speaking of tearing someone a new one, this is not really news. I mean, I'm not really shocked by this, but you know, they're talking about Thor: Love and Thunder, which will be the fourth Thor film. Mm-hmm. And they're saying that Chris Pratt is going to reprise his role as Star-Lord. This is not really a surprise to me.
The Revengers.
Oh no, the Ass Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, that one.
Yeah. I swear, if they better tagline that film just like that. They better tagline it just like that. Yeah, I'm not really surprised considering how it left off in Endgame, where he left with the Guardians. So that's nothing new. Sylvester Stallone has been noted as of today that he'll be showing up again as the character he played. So you know,
he's also going to Suicide Squad.
Yeah, exactly. You know, good Lord, can that movie get any more stacked?
Apparently not.
Yeah, I'm like,
let's just keep putting in stars.
I'm like, we need to just start.
I mean, if you're gonna be able, I feel like with the thing that COVID has started doing is pushing a lot of things back, but it's giving people more time to really start putting out better products. Take your time and really just not rush it.
Yeah.
Just be able to just be like, you know what? I don't like that. Let's reshoot this. Let's recast that. Let's just put everything we can into it. So when it does finally get seen, it's the best thing ever.
Right.
Every time. Up until they get tired of it.
Yeah. So talking about taking their time with something, you know, we can't help but not mention Zack Snyder's Justice League. And it turns out, I mean, it's not definitive, at least right now, but they saying, you know, I think they were given $70 million to, you know, kind of finish off his vision, to finish off Snyder's vision. And they said by the time it's all said and done, it looks like it's only going to be 4 minutes of footage that they shot. Yeah.
So,
but you got to, but I think the money, me personally, I think the money went to, you know, reshoots. Those are the part of the reshoots, the cast being paid, obviously. And then he's putting back the footage that he already shot in. So now you're talking about editing and everything else. So I think some of the scenes that might have been reshot, they might have been like quick.
2 seconds.
Yeah, something, you know, because like the people that he's bringing Ben Affleck back in. I think Henry Cavill's been brought back in. So some of the scenes they've shot, they might have been like, all right, we just need to go to this city. We don't even have to. We just need to do this on set. Just on set. Boom, done. Like, it's not location. Nah. So, you know, so I'm like, hey, I mean, dude really said he has like 6 hours worth of footage. So, I mean, he probably didn't need to reshoot that much. He probably,
yeah. I mean, with 6 hours, you got 2 movies.
Yeah, you know, so he's probably looking at it from like, man, I just needed to finish off the scene how I wanted to finish it off, not how it came out, because that wasn't my product. So that's where
I know is this might have been be an Academy Award winner, like glory.
I tell you what, they need to touch up some of that CGI. I tell you that damn much.
Yeah.
Some of that 70 million metal going into the CGI, because that was, I can't watch that now and like, damn, that just looked horrible. Oh, that was looking horrible.
I mean, it wasn't Batman versus Superman bad, but it was still.
It was right. Batman versus Superman. We somehow always come back to these two.
And I will never let that shit go. I'm sorry.
I don't blame you.
If I can find a way to sneak that in on when we're talking about something horrible, that's the bar. That is the low bar. That is the low hanging fruit that is tragedy in theater playing out.
It was like you sit back, you can literally watch Batman versus Superman, and if you take out the Jesse Eisenberg scenes,
oh god,
and if you take out the fact
everything.
if you take out that Zod is Doomsday, if you take out the Jesse Eisenberg scenes and take out Zod as Doomsday, you might have something on your hands.
Yeah, if you take out Doomsday, period, because he was
really
looking Ninja Turtle without a mask.
It really looked bad. I mean, he didn't look.
It was nothing. They
could have done better
about him.
He was a physical threat, yeah, but he wasn't the threat that you were. I mean, Smallville had a comic accurate
way better
Doomsday. So if we didn't, we needed that version on the screen, you know, and that would have been fun. But who knows? But yeah, Batman versus Superman is probably the low bar on how not to complete things. And I think the other issue is by the time they did Justice League, it was just a couple of years later. And, you know, if you didn't know, he was going to get fired from the movie anyway. Zack Snyder was, but it just so happened that his child had committed suicide. So, coincidence. That's what it turned out to be. And, horrible. just horrible, you know. And I can still watch Batman versus. I can still watch BVS. I can watch it. I can hardly watch Justice League to a degree.
I can watch Justice League. I can get past the CGI. I can watch it, have no problem. Batman versus Superman. And I think it comes down to me was this the part that just makes the whole movie horrible is the Martha thing.
Oh.
That to me just ruined the whole movie.
That was the linchpin. Even though it's like, true, it's just
that was
like,
the dynamite that blew the shit up. Like it was just why'd you say that name? It's his mom. And then this Batman just turns into a little sniveling bitch and just starts crying in his mask. Like I'm sorry, that ruined the whole movie for me. Like from there on, it was just like I can't take these motherfuckers seriously.
That didn't ruin the movie for me. the way Lex was being played is what kind of burned me.
That wig from Wish Tyler Perry style ruined it for me. Like that was a
dude. I'm seeing so many movies that my wife is watching, and I'm looking at like some of the films on Netflix, and I'm looking like there's a guy, I can't remember this actor's name. He's an African actor, but he was in Lost and in a bunch of other stuff. But I'm looking, and I had to keep looking at him because I'm like, he looks familiar. And then my wife was like, yeah, you do know him. And I'm looking, and they had put the most horrible looking wig on his head. And then they had the nerve to try to fashion it into a box. But it was like a box without the line up. And it was just like, okay, we're going to shape it. And just put it there. And it was, I'm like, how can you wear that and not say, what the fuck? That was a horrible looking wig, man. Oh, God. Wish. Look, we come to y'all because you have reasonable prices.
Reasonable ain't the word. Like, yeah, that motherfucker sell shit for like super low.
But we're tired of ordering it today and then getting it 6 months from now.
6 years. It's waiting on shit from 2010. Like by the time they get it, it's gonna be antique.
You know, you got to do better on your shipping, man. Come on, you know, build a Wish outlet center or something like Amazon do or something, man. Partner with Amazon, do something. That should not take that long. It shouldn't. I ordered it in April.
And I don't get it till 2030.
Right. Like, come on, man. How can I do a show? It was like, oh, or how can I shoot a film and I got this horrible looking wig on my head? This is garbage.
Hey, by the time you get it, it's too late to even try to be like, you know what, we're not gonna use it. Like you gotta go with it because it's here now. There's no alternative.
Look what happened with Tyler Perry. I know he was just like, damn.
Fuck it, run with it, stretch it out, spray it, and you know, let a cat play with it for a minute, and we just have to go with it.
Put some Afro sheen on it, and let's hope it works.
Them motherfuckers had a lot of
no blue magic. We ain't got time to put blue magic.
No, they went with that black stuff, the stuff that leave your head ashy. It start cracking, look like dandruff. That stuff.
Oh man. Like keep it out from. I was gonna say keep it out from under the lights. It can't stay under the lights long.
Like it's dandruff all on it. Yeah, man.
Oh my God, dandruff.
Now your wig got
looking like melted licorice or something. just slap this on your head. This will work. Well, we finally got a trailer for the Fresh Prince reunion.
Yeah.
And he got both Aunt Viv's.
Which is, I wonder how that came about.
Because he even took a picture. It was a
with
picture
both, with
both of them.
I thought it was Photoshop for a second.
Yeah, I had to keep looking at it. I'm like, man, all that venom she was spewing, and I'm like,
yeah. The last time I seen her, she was calling Alfonso Roberto his bitch and all this other stuff.
Yeah, man. She's like, it was no holds barred. I'm like,
the West Side. She was like Tupac and Biggie on that one.
Like, what the trailer even talks about, like, you know, obviously James Avery's no longer with us, and he's even the scene that everybody talks about, even this cast. The scene that everybody talks about is the scene is the episode when Ben Vereen is playing Will's father, and how that's a rough scene. I'm sorry, that's just a rough scene because you felt that, and like,
you got to remember though, Will Smith actually grew up without a dad, so
exactly,
that was real. Like that was cathartic. He was like really tapping into some unresolved issues in himself, and then I think that's why you see that hug. James Avery was like, okay, this is real.
Yeah, because he said it. He said it in the trailer that, you know, how they didn't know he could really act. They weren't sure if he could act or anything. But that scene, when James Avery hugged him, he said that wasn't even in the scene. The part when he hugged him wasn't in the scene, and then when he's hugging him, he's telling him, "Now that's acting." He whispered in his ear, "Now that's acting." And I'm like, is it?
That shit felt real.
That felt real as hell. And you know, like I see that and it burns in my spirit, man. I'm like, oh God, like because as black men, we've seen it. We have felt that. We know that pain. We know what that feels like. So, great. It was a great moment. You know,
very great.
It was a couple moments on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air that were just kind of like
when Carlton had the gun.
When he got the gun,
and he was trying to tell him, "I'll give it to him. You owe me." That scene was touching.
They had a couple. They had more goofy moments than they had serious. But when they had serious, when they had serious moments, they hit hard. You know, it was like, oh, you've been laughing all this season. You've been laughing for like 10 episodes. Bam, we about to hit you with this real serious episode. You know, it's nothing like this. It's nothing like the Saved by the Bell episode where Jesse was taking too many caffeine pills.
Let's Saved by the Bell. Zack Snyder's still trash, man.
Zack Snyder's still trash.
I watched the episode. It was an episode, you know, when they was in college. The college Saved by the Bell, the college years.
Oh, the college years,
with Bob Golick on it. So Kelly was banging the teacher, and she dropped the class. So in the middle of this class, before they get started, Zach's trash ass, his old toxic self, gonna be a hater. Like, yeah, we need to talk. Oh, we can talk after class. No, I think now's the time for us to talk about how you banging Kelly. Like, nigga, you could have said this. You know what I'm saying? Out in the hallway. Let's take it to the hallway. His old toxic self got to make a fucking scene for some ass he ain't touching. Oh, he dropped dime on him because Kelly wasn't banging him anymore. That's what
it was. We all knew that's what it was.
That's why he's trash. I don't care what nobody say. He is not the hero of no story.
Oh no!
Never
like we said a couple weeks ago. The only time Zach did good is if the rest of the crew guilted him into doing it. Like, because everybody else
wasn't doing good. He was just feeling obliging people just to shut them up.
Yeah, because you figure out of that entire crew, he was the one that was always. He wasn't their moral compass. He was the shitty one. Like everybody, like who was.
Let's
Jesse
do a
Kelly
car wash to raise money for the hub.
Oh yeah, the Christmas episode. With the homeless guy. You know, he was crushing on the girl and didn't know she was homeless. And, you know, it was
begging Slater's sister.
All
time.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Like Zach was not the moral compass of that crew at all. Everybody else was.
Let's not forget when they was working at the resort or whatever it was.
Oh man.
Oh my! You're banging on, trying to get old white ladies money and stuff. He started escort service. Zach Morris is trash, man. You heard it here.
He sucked AC into that one. AC was like,
man, I can't do that, man. I said we over here good over here. You trying to get me to slay my slang to make you money? Yep. Oh, ass Zach Morris.
Oh my God, Zach.
On the new one, he the fucking mayor. Like nobody seen that sleazy shit coming.
When you sit back and you really think about it,
he was on that career
really surprised. Path. Yeah, are you really surprised?
His trajectory was trending towards sleazy politician.
You know how you take those tests in high school to find out.
It should say sleazy politician.
It's either going to say career criminal or sleazy politician.
His shit says sleazy politician or crooked preacher.
Right.
That's what Zach Morris motherfucking career aptitude test was.
Yeah, the career aptitude is like you get four choices. You get career criminal, white collar crime, sleazy politician, or crooked preacher. It's like those are your four choices right there.
Either way, he was sleazy and greasy. He was like a white Al Sharpton without the rhyme.
Man.
I said it. Yeah, Zach Morris was trash. I don't care. He was trash, man. Without the perm and the fucking words. He was just sleazy as shit.
In the tracksuits. In the perm and
Crisco ass. Just greasy.
Man. And you see how he did his boy Screech. Screech ain't Screech in prison. For real.
Screech didn't want nothing but some little black love, man. That's all Screech wanted. All he wanted was Lisa, man.
Oh my God.
And Zach played him out of that. He tried to bang Lisa one time too.
He did.
Screech was on it, man. Zach is trash, man.
I think he tried to get at everybody
all
but Jesse.
Oh, he tried to get at her too.
Did he try to get at her?
Yep. Even if he didn't, I'm putting it on him.
Might as well, yeah.
I'm putting that charge on him.
Because I remember him trying to get at Lisa.
And got caught by Screech and tried to apologize with some phony ass apology. Well, I didn't try, but I tried, but she said no. But I still tried anyway, knowing that you liked her for all these years. My bad.
Yeah.
The weakest ass apology ever.
Daggone Zach Morris.
That makes my blood boil.
Hold on, wait, is that the epitome of it? Look here, buddy.
Yeah.
You done crossed the line.
All right, now look here, guy. All right, you done fucked up one too many times there, Mr. Morris. Man, like all the episodes you ever go back and watch. And
look, he was
episode he was either thinking with his dick or thinking about somebody's money.
Somewhere, Ferris Bueller is like, that is not how we do things. It's like, dude, I'm just scamming my friend. You're scamming everybody.
Everybody, you cross.
Oh my God, Zach Morris, you're garbage, man.
Zach Morris is trash.
Oh man. We got some shows that's getting ready to wind up in their final season. Talking about Supernatural. I'm caught up.
They're still on.
Yeah, they have one episode left next Thursday. It's a 2-hour episode, and it's gonna be kind of different not seeing the boys after next week. It's gonna be weird. 15 seasons. That's CW's longest running show.
Came over from the WB with the singing frog and the UPN and
Underpaid Negroes Network. No.
Oh God. They were with Homeboys in Outer Space.
Don't mention that.
Think about the guy who pitched Homeboys in Outer Space.
He said, we got this up-and-coming comedian. We're going to get Flex Alexander, and we're going to get Ron from Different World. And I'm like, what the hell happened to you?
And they're going to be in outer space, and it's going to be a robot. And they don't know how to get home. And they're going to have some weird-ass janky theme song. Homeboys in Outer Space.
Look,
trash.
I'm telling you. Look, dude, the first time I seen that, I couldn't believe that was real. I was like, that's got to be like a living color skit or something.
You would think, but somebody somebody got paid a whole lot of money to put that show on the air.
What Negro sold out the crew for this?
I want to know. That nigga living in Tijuana right now next to Zach Morris and Tupac, living his best life, knowing he ain't got to have a care in the world because he had a shitty show on TV and got paid a boatload of money.
Oh my God. Homeboys in Outer Space. Jesus.
It was Malcolm and Eddie, Homeboys in Outer Space.
Yeah, how could you pair those two? That's crazy.
1-on-1.
Right. It's like the further along you went, the shows were better and more positive and more geared towards us. But it was like you started at the extreme
8 o'clock. Homeboys in Outer Space.
It's amazing that the rest of the shows lasted as long as they did. They probably were like, here, let's put the worst show on first.
Let's get this shit out the way.
Right. And
7 o'clock.
You know, like one or two things is gonna happen. They're gonna muster through it and fight and watch it, or they're gonna turn and the network gonna go straight in the toilet.
And the network went straight in the toilet.
They got when you mentioned 1-on-1 girlfriends, what was the one that Dean Hardison did one? It was him and his 3 partners. They were
yeah.
That one, it was Kadeem Hardison, Tommy Davidson.
Oh shit, yeah.
And I can't remember, it was another comedian, but he was a weatherman because he called himself. Yeah, his name was Sunny Day. that was the weatherman.
What was that show?
And Sally Richardson's husband at the time.
Whitfield.
Yeah, that's it. Yep. Yep. And they were all, I'm like, and that show was good. That show was good. So I'm like, man, you had all of those, you know, one-on-one, girlfriend, the game. You had all these shows.
The game was started out on that.
Yeah, so it was like, man, y'all had some good shows.
And
out of all of those, you had Homeboys in Outer Space, which was the absolute worst. I mean, I'm like,
they were flying around in a goddamn trailer.
Yeah.
A mobile home spaceship.
You know where this all you can only get that off with Spaceballs. That was it. And that was known to happen. I'm like, but you made a sitcom out of two brothers who are garbage men. Or I bet you this is where they got the idea for Futurama. You just changed up the cast.
Well, let's talk about how two black men were in outer space just kicking it.
Yeah.
Like the realism. Okay.
Yeah, it was like it's hard. This is like
Supernatural, everybody.
Yeah. Let's just go, you know. Oh my God. Homeboys in Outer Space. It was horrible. Yeah. Well, so you've gone from a show that only lasted a season, I think it did, and to a show that's gone and lasted for 15
Did
seasons.
That last a season?
I think it did.
If that might have been 3 or 4 episodes.
I hope it was that, because if you made it through a whole season, that's 14 episodes at the time.
Oh God. I just for my own.
Yeah, you might want to look that one up on Wikipedia or something. They probably it's probably an article like, yeah, did you mean
Homeboys in Outer Space? One season.
It was one season?
One season in 1996. And Flex Alexander's name was Tiberius.
Yes, it sure was.
Oh, it did have Kevin Michael Richardson.
Oh, he was in there. He was their boss.
And Michael Collier.
Yeah.
Gary Coleman.
Mm-hmm.
John Lithgow. Okay, I mean it had a promising cast.
Yeah. Just a horrible plot.
A horrible premise.
Yeah. You did here. If you had it, one, you needed a better script. Two, you needed a better tag name. You needed a better title. It didn't have to be Homeboys. That was so condescending. Oh, that was horrible.
They're two Han Solo wannabes who fly around. Oh my God!
How dare they put them in the same tag?
That was a real caption.
Oh my God!
IMDb. Straight-laced Morris Clay and fun-loving Tiberius Walker are two Han Solo wannabes who fly around the galaxy in a space hoopty. A used starship would look like a winged car.
It
comes with a smart mouth computer named Laquita.
Oh my God. Was it, man?
Who has the hots for Morris?
Come on. Laquita.
That was a real. That was
do you know how many?
That was a real plot summary, people.
Do you know how many categories of people you've just offended?
Laquita was a computer with a smart mouth.
That alone. And then the nerve to say two people, Han Solo wannabes. Han Solo was a pirate, basically, a thief, and a killer.
The fact that actually was a show was a killer.
Yeah.
And a thief.
Somebody made that pitch and ran the hell off with the money and said, you know what?
As soon as they cut the check, he was out.
I'm out the business.
That show lasted from August of 96 to May of 97.
God, y'all made it that long. Damn. Whew. Shows like that would not make it past 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations, Supernatural, on 15 seasons.
You made it.
Oh man, y'all made it. But in all seriousness, man, I love this show. Not Homeboys in Outer Space.
No. I wonder if anybody ever just like
sat back and watched. No, I would never. I wouldn't.
21 episodes.
Oh, so they had the full season run. That's rough. That means after 14, that means like after a certain number, somebody said we're gonna give them a full season. Who decided that? Damn, that's horrible.
I kind of want to go back and watch it
just to see how bad it really is.
Compared to today's standards, yes.
YouTube it.
I don't even know if they would show that crap on there. YouTube shows a lot.
They do
a lot.
Oh man. In the last time we did our show, we lost another great, Alex Trebek. So yeah. It's crazy because we lost Sean Connery and then we lost Alex Trebek in the same week. And I made a slight. You can look at this on this bright side. If anybody has ever watched Saturday Night Live when Will Ferrell was on the air and they would do Celebrity Jeopardy, those were hilarious. The scenes between him and Daryl Hammond, who portrayed Sean Connery, were absolutely hilarious.
Yeah.
Anytime you say one of your categories is an album and the album cover, and then Sean Connery goes, "I'll take an anal bum cover for $200." He was like, no, he was like, or what's the other one? He says, a sound the dog makes, and he says moo. He's like, that's wrong. He's like, well, that's not the sound your mother makes, you know.
Yeah, I've seen some of those again just recently.
I was watching them the other day. Those were hilarious. They were. I was in tears because it was just like,
yeah, man, it's just
let it snow. What do you say? Let it snow. He was like, let it now. He's like, it's a French phrase. He said, hello, mademoiselle. Show me your let it now. I'm like, God, what?
The classics never die, man.
Those never die. Check those out on YouTube, man. Just check out the Alex Trebek, Sean Connery quips. Like, even Alex Trebek even appeared on one of them at the end of the skit. So 2020 is taking a lot of greats this year, man. God, it's never ending. But before we get into our main topic, which is about the release of the Xbox Series X this week and the PS5, we have news. It's nothing new. We've been doing it for a while, but we have a segment called "On This Day in Pop Culture History."
Hey, yeah.
All right.
On this day in pop culture history.
So, on this day in pop culture history of November 14th, in 1988, the number hit rephrase that. Let's do it again. In 1988, the number one hit through November 14th to November 27th is Lauryn Hill's "Doo-Wop," that thing. Yeah.
That was a classic.
Yeah. Wait till you hear this classic. In 1991, on November 14th, Michael Jackson's Black or White video first aired on Fox, MTV, BET, and VH1.
Yeah,
right after the episode of The Simpsons. And what's crazy is every time Mike had a new video, Fox was to show it, and it always showed on Sunday right after The Simpsons. Like, you got a whole half hour of a Michael Jackson video.
I think that's because he went on The Simpsons and did that episode. He was like, if I'm gonna come on and do The Simpsons, y'all gonna do something for me. Y'all gonna start showing my videos at the end of this shit.
But he had all four stations on lock. He was like, 8:30, everybody showing it.
Simulcast. It was like the Super Bowl.
Right. And in comics, in 1978, Mariko Yashida debuted in Uncanny X-Men 118 by Chris Claremont and John Byrne. The X-Men found themselves in Japan dealing with Sunfire, then the Mandroids, and even with Moses Magnum. But the quiet scene between Logan and Mariko was the start of their romance.
Oh, God. That love affair.
Man, for those who don't know, and I'm spoiling it because it's been long enough.
Long enough. Yes, it has.
Mariko was killed, and along with their so-called child, or so it was thought, because then he shows up later and it turns out it's the kin, the bastard child of Logan.
One of many.
Yeah, Logan gets around. You figure somebody who's been around
I
as long as he
mean,
has.
you live for 2,000 years. Like,
Yeah,
you spread a lot of seeds.
Yeah, you can't sit up there and tell me like somebody did not carry your seed. That's a long time. The pullout game cannot be that strong. I'm sorry, it just can't be.
Yeah,
especially when you got a bad one on for redheads. You cannot tell me.
Yeah,
like especially after he sees Jean, he's probably like, "Oh, I'm gonna get her." And I'm
that still is up tonight, baby.
Yeah.
That rod's firing.
Oh my god. But that is crazy that he that's bad on so many levels. They're trying to ship him and Storm now. They're trying to ship them hard in the X books. I'm against that. I'm against that.
Yeah,
you know, it's just like I'm like, come on, that's the childless woman.
Yeah,
you know, and the only reason why they're saying it is the only reason why they're saying is, there were two moments where Storm lost her powers, so she lost her confidence, and he helped her get it back. Where Logan helped her get it back. You know, helped her learn her hand-to-hand fighting skills.
Got her groove back.
Yeah, and then the same thing happened to him. And she was in his corner, and I'm like, well, yeah, they've known it. They joined the team around the same time, so they kind of grew up together. So yeah, I see where they would have some kind of connection, but damn,
romance is in the air in the X Mansion.
I'm like, man, all them damn rooms. Somebody, Xavier,
with all them rooms, there's a lot of action going on.
Yeah.
Low key thought the X Mansion was like the Playboy Mansion. Like it was like a lot of porn hubbing going on. When they wasn't saving the world or in school, it was just a lot of action, like a lot of chafing going on.
A lot of chafing. A lot of chafing.
A lot of mental Olympics going on. A lot of different powers. Like the kink game in that house was just outrageous. You got people moving sex toys with their minds and lighting candles with their ass and shit. Just like a lot of
okay, now
beast
wait a minute.
In his hairy ass.
Whomever is lighting the candle with their ass, I just have to see what that power looks like. I'm just saying. I'm like, what the heck?
Hey,
like,
baby, candles lit.
Like,
you stop sitting on my lawn.
Right? Oh man, the wildness that can go on in there, man. Oh my god,
man, just like just a lot of power going on.
It's too much of everything.
Rogue is stealing everybody's essence and using it in other rooms.
Oh man, so how do you say? Okay, I can tell you how we can segue that. Well, this is the main topic of the show. Not the X Mansion. not the X Man, not the Sex Mansion. No, not that.
Sex Mansion.
The Sex Mansion, no.
Charles Xavier, like, let's get naughty, baby.
You're right.
I got it. Well, see, speaking of blowing smoke up people's asses, there are a lot of people who's been getting new systems and for some reason vaping around them and destroying their $500 system.
So that's what's actually happening.
Yeah, like blowing like vape smoke into the system.
But why?
Retardedness. It's just, I don't know. First of all,
so this is the
vaping,
same.
You're just
you're defeating the purpose.
Yeah. Sucking that robot penis.
Never looked at it that way. Yeah, man,
it's weird. You know how douchebaggy you look vaping? I'm
Oh
sorry,
my
you do
God.
not look cool doing this. It's not a good look. But no, I mean, you have people like, here's the thing. First of all, the pre-sales have been crazy because they've been doing like limited amounts at a time.
Mhm.
So and then you have bots buying up everything and selling, marking the prices up on like Amazon. Like if you go to Microsoft website and try to order one, they'll send you to a store.
Right.
And at this store to tell you what's in stock. At one point in time, Amazon was on there, but because you have bots buying up these systems at other places and then going to Amazon and selling them for $1,000 plus, they took Amazon off of there.
Oh, okay.
Because there were like people had bots and stuff. You know how they buy stuff up and then they hoard it all and then sell it at a marked up price. Like, okay, we got 10 of them, $1,000 a pop, and people are buying them. Like it just don't make no sense. So, and then second, if you're buying one this early, you're not a real gamer. And I'll say that because everybody knows you never buy the first generation of the first generation.
Never.
There's too many. Right now, PlayStations have a problem where if you put your shit in rest mode, it becomes a brick. $500 paperweight. No good.
Hold on. Okay, so I thought theirs were doing a smoking thing too. Or
well, that too. I mean, there's a bunch of different issues, and then you have people trying to defend it, like, "Well, I'm not having that issue." Just because you're not having that issue doesn't mean everybody else is. Because you have people going online on Twitter saying, "Oh, I put mine in rest mode, and now it does nothing." So I have a $500 paperweight.
God, dog. But see, like you said, a real gamer would not get first wave gaming. It just wouldn't.
Because there's too many variables that haven't been fully tested.
Right.
You know, there's too many bugs that need to be worked out. There's too many I don't want to use the word, but kinks that haven't been worked out. Segue. But I mean, it's just there's too many things that haven't been fully tested because you can only test so much in a controlled situation. So once you have it out there in the masses' hands and people start doing all this goofy stuff that they do, that's how you test the product to safeguard against those things going forward.
Mm-hmm.
You know, putting a better fan in there to, for some reason, the idiot wants to blow smoke into his system. So
and you know what? For that type of situation, I don't even think anybody prepared for something like that. I don't even.
Well, no, and that's the thing.
That's the Tide generation. That's what that is.
Yeah, well, but that's the thing. That,
generation.
I mean, nobody expected you to do that, but that's something going forward they can try to fix or find a workaround in the next part of the systems that they put out, because you know they're gonna have the S and the X, you know, for Xbox, and then they're going to come out with some kind of variation of that later on down the road, which is a fix for the stupid stuff in the first batch. I mean, they did it with the regular Xbox One. You had the Xbox One, then you had the Xbox One X, and then you had Project Scorpio, which never came out. PlayStation did it. You had 4 different PlayStation 4s.
Right.
So I mean, there's things that they're going to do, but just right now, I would say if you're going to get one, get the warranty.
Well, you'd be foolish if you were one to get the first wave. You'd be foolish not to get the warranty,
because, like I said, it's just too much that can go wrong on the first go around that hasn't been thought of. Even though they think of everything, there's just some things that people are going to do that you won't think of, or that even if you test it in the, you know, with that one system, every system is not going to react the same to different variables and different conditions. You know, some people, their overheating has been becoming a problem where it just starts smoking because they have it in a space where, you know, it's not getting enough air.
Right.
So I mean, like
you sitting on bare carpet.
Yeah.
Now you're getting on bare carpet. You know, you ain't nothing but dust and everything else.
There's just too many variables that have probably been thought of but haven't had a solution, because you know, everything has a different reaction. So it's just, from what I've seen, and I have people who have have been able to get the S version of the Xbox, which is just pretty much, to me, a waste of money. Now, if you're buying it for a kid, I can see, but if you're like a hardcore gamer, you just might as well pony up that extra money and just get the bigger system, the $500 with the better.
Because $299 is the digital, $399 is the disc.
Is the disc, but not just the disc. I mean, there's more power in the bigger systems.
Right.
You know what I mean, there's better hard drives, better frame rates. Like the Xbox S doesn't do 4K. It does up to kind of a 4K, but it doesn't do true 4K. Yeah.
Is that because they're doing backwards compatible anyway.
Yeah, I mean,
and I think that might be part. That's their pro, but it's also their con.
You're not gonna unless you're getting the big boy system, you're not gonna get that true 4K. So you're not getting the full capabilities that you would get with the X. I mean, truth be told, I would never get the S anyway. Now, because I'm an Xbox guy, if I went to get a smaller system, it would be the PlayStation smaller version, only because it's half the money, but I wouldn't play it as hardcore as I would the Xbox.
Right.
So I don't really care about the graphics or anything like that. It would just be for the games that Xbox doesn't have. Like the new Spider-Man, the Miles Morales, I would love to play that.
Right.
But I think that's a game that you want to play with a true 4K and get the true benefits of what they're putting into the game. To be able to get all the frame rates and
I think that's their big push was Miles Morales and Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Yeah, I know some people playing that right now.
With Valhalla?
Yeah,
I got some people who's playing it too. And I think that was their cash cows was those two games because it's like
NBA 2K has revamped their whole game for next gen, which is it's beautiful to see because
they gave LeBron his full. You can see where LeBron has a hair implant.
The hairpiece, yeah, man. That's
no hate, LeBron. No hate. No. That's just we're talking about the game, brother.
But I mean, they revamped the whole game to the point to where I play Madden a lot, and Madden has dropped the ball on their next gen. Not only did they push it back, but I doubt if they're gonna do anything in the vein that 2K has done. Because what 2K has done is essentially take the game and stripped it.
Okay.
And they built like on a current gen, they have what they call the neighborhood, where you just go around and play, with people online, head to head, and all this and that.
Right.
They built a whole city on the next gen. I'm talking about a whole interactive city.
That's what's up.
So we're talking
that might get me into playing NBA 2K again.
Yeah, I mean they got from what I've heard, they have affiliation for what they call I can't think of the name. They used to have them before, but it's like park affiliations. But I mean they have like full on just like different ways to go play, just more immersion. Right. They revamped their franchise mode to be like all inclusive, so it's pretty much one hub to where you can do different types of this franchise, but it's more in depth. WNBA, they've made a whole WNBA for women, so now they're bringing in women who always wanted to play 2K but didn't want to play as men. So now you can create your own female character, do your own female league.
So they did the formula right then.
Yeah, that's not even on the graphics. Not even talk about the graphics. The face scans. The face scans are better. It just looks realer. The jersey, the sweat. 2K has always had this running joke where people be like, they always have sweat, excess amount of sweat.
Yeah,
but it looks good. From what I heard.
This was
screenshots.
This was a conversation we had a couple episodes back when it was you, me, and Courtney, and we were talking about the gaming and how like Madden, like it's like they stopped caring.
Well, Madden problem is
like they were going based off their name at this point.
Well, not that and the NFL exclusive rights.
Yeah,
nobody else can make a simulation football game, meaning they can't make it look like the real NFL. Now 2K has a deal with the NFL, but theirs is going to be like an arcade style, meaning it's going to be a little cartoony. They can use players in NFL teams, but it can't try to simulate real football. So it has to be like NFL Streets, NFL Blitz, things of that nature. So EA this year, with 2K coming at them, decided this year they're going to double down and start doing arcadey type stuff. They have the yard and all this other stuff.
EA at one point, EA was at the top of the game.
And there's a guy. If anybody's interested, it's a guy named Soft. I want to get this right. Soft Sports Drinks on YouTube, who did pretty much an expose called "The Rise and Fall of EA." Mm-hmm. We're talking from the beginning till now, and he details everything. At one point, EA had 17 sports titles under their umbrella. 17. You know how many they have today? I'll let you guess.
It's like 3.
4.
I was close.
They have, and it might be less than that now because they have.
Oh yeah, FIFA,
EA,
baseball,
FIFA,
UFC.
Madden.
Okay, UFC, yeah.
And Madden. So they have Madden, UFC, FIFA, 2K. Live is dead.
Yeah.
Killed Live. They had golf. They had tennis. They had so many games. They're down to 4 under their umbrella now.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Now, in other news, what I didn't realize is that like the Avengers game that they had, because I know you said you played
that
the beta.
game is dying.
Yeah, 63 million in losses. That's
crazy.
And
here's what happened. It started out ambitious. It started out, they made I think it was because they came out big. Like they came out saying this is gonna happen and we're gonna have this and it's gonna be over the top and immersion. And after a while, it became just another game. It got repetitive. I haven't played it. Oh God, I haven't played it in about 3 or 4 weeks. Maybe.
So is it the gameplay? Like when you said the gameplay?
Well, it got old.
It felt like old school gaming then.
Yeah, like, it felt like the replay value has died. Once you get past the story mode, which is brief, like the story mode I felt could have been better, could have lasted a little longer. It didn't deliver on what you felt you were going to get when this game was coming. And then for it to be pushed back like it was and to still come out and still underwhelm, it just like the grind on it to get your player up is just, it's weird. So the progression system is weird. And then you already playing with Iron Man, Captain America after a while. Spoiler alert, if people don't know, he's supposed to have died, but he didn't. So Captain America, Black Widow, Thor, Hulk, and Miss Marvel.
Yeah, you're right.
So I mean, and Hulk doesn't, and the characters don't feel like you feel like they should feel.
Okay.
Like Hulk feels weak. Like if you have the Hulk, you should be just wrecking shit. There's no way.
So is it anything like? Okay, I remember the Hulk game for Xbox.
Yeah, where you could just fuck shit up.
You were just randomly tearing shit.
I mean, you can to a certain extent, but it's not a true open world like you would think it would be.
It should be.
And then it feel like some of the maps are the same.
That's a problem.
And it looked like, and it's so short. Like it's not like the missions are long or hard. It's just like short mission, do these 3 little objectives, move on.
So that means they really didn't do their. It's like you're riding off the coattails and didn't do their homework as far as like look at what, because see the next news that came out after the 63 million loss was they're pulling like the Spider-Man piece of it away from it because they're like, no, we don't want that affecting our franchise.
Well, because they've remastered the Spider-Man for PS5.
Right.
And they remastered that, put some new suits in and everything. And then they had the Miles Morales game coming out for PS5. So to have Spider-Man go to this game that is right now just floundering, like it's hovering around the toilet bowl. Like I said, I haven't played mine in quite some time. They were supposed to have, and here's another problem. The DLC is, they haven't released it. You know, the stuff they have released is not enough to save the game. Their next character update, which was supposed to add to the story somehow, was Kate Bishop and Hawkeye. But you weren't going to beat Hawkeye, you were going to beat Kate Bishop.
Right.
So, I mean, unless you're like a hardcore Marvel fan and you know who Kate Bishop is and what she did, that's not enough.
I was going to say, that's not enough.
And then like they have these like side missions, but they just feel repetitive. Like again, they feel like you're going to the same map, just doing a different thing.
You see, that would be a problem.
So, yeah, I mean, right now the game is just not what they promised us.
Yeah, that's an issue.
And for people who, like I said, when you're riding that wave of superhero, and it gets to the point where people want to start getting off, it's a bad thing because now you're ruining it. Like I said, like you said, they pulled Spider-Man because we're not gonna put Spider-Man on this when we have this game coming out. Now you're gonna kill our product. But our product was like, I played the Spider-Man game. I bought a PS5 just to play that Spider-Man game, and it was amazing. Customization on there.
That was the thing. This is a game that, from its inception, and I'm not just talking about the Miles Morales version. I'm talking about Spider-Man. Period.
Oh yeah.
When they went open world, it was a wrap.
Oh man, like. Batman was open world, but it wasn't open world like Spider-Man.
To a degree, exactly. It was like to a degree.
Spider-Man, you can just really just swing around the whole city all day and not do a damn mission.
Like you could cross the bridge.
Yeah.
On certain missions.
Not even on the missions. I mean, just like period. You just
on general, yeah.
Going.
Just to see how far.
Mission.
Like, and any gamer knows, you always want to test the limits to see how far you can go out, and that's what you do. And like. I remember the game. Sometimes you would go out so far and then they would turn you back.
Yeah, not on that one.
Yeah, that one. This is what that kind of set the standard. And like with the Batman games, when they went from Arkham Asylum, and then what was it? What was after Arkham Asylum? Because Arkham Asylum was just enclosed. It was open world, but it was enclosed because it was in the building. Yeah, you were still in the building of Arkham Asylum, and then when they went Arkham City. Now they're like they grew
and
it open.
Knight was open too.
Yeah, so like they just opened it further and further. Spider-Man, and see the way Batman did it, it made sense according to the titles.
Yeah,
according to the titles, it made sense. But see,
Spider-Man did something totally different.
Yeah, like, when they came out the gate, they said open world. This is it. You can go anywhere.
And here's the thing that makes any superhero game great. It's free reign, and it's the immersion of feeling like that person.
Yeah.
When you play a superhero game, you're not playing it because it's cool. You're playing it because you want to be Spider-Man and you want full access to all of Spider-Man's powers, abilities, and to be free to do what Spider-Man might do, or just
to find the tallest building in the city, climb to the top, and jump off.
I've done it. Many times. The swan dive, I call it the Spider-Man swan dive.
Yeah, and then swing at the very last second.
Yeah. See how far you can fall, and then you get the screen starts pixelating to where it just looks like you're
like the wind is coming up faster.
Yeah.
And we've all, like beautiful. I said, any gamer out there, real gamer out there has done that move.
And if you haven't, you're not a true gamer. Right. Any gamer worth their salt has found the biggest bid and as Spider-Man just drop. Arms back, just head first. And then at that last second, you swing or you hit the ground.
You hit the ground, right. And let's face it, any hardcore gamer has done that on purpose too, just to see what
happens. Like.
So, damn, that's kind of sad.
But it doesn't, like I said, it just doesn't. And then you already had the issue of the characters not looking like the characters.
Mm-hmm. That was their first.
So it was like great value Avengers.
Yeah. Well, see, now they went with the character voices from the cartoons, which is not a problem.
They don't look.
Yeah, but exactly. They don't look like They don't look like who it is that they're.
So, and that's an issue because you look at Hawkeye, there's some dude with a buzz cut.
So that ain't the cartoon. That ain't the cartoon at all.
Yeah.
So I mean, you just went.
So they took liberties that you can't take when you're doing superhero games.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I know they wanted to make it their own thing, but
they took too many shortcuts. I wonder if it's the shortcuts or if they just didn't have the funding, which probably is what bit them in the ass.
It's a AAA company. I mean, they've made some big games. I don't think it was funny. I think and they said it themselves, they wanted to make it feel like its own thing separate from the movies. And
that's fine, but you should have made it open world then.
Yeah, and
Instead of
it's
having
not
an enclosed map, and that's not good.
because
I mean, you
like say
look
New
at all the
York for
games.
instance.
Yeah.
Like you go to New York on the map, and it's New York, but it's not full New York.
So you're stuck in one borough.
They're
That's what it is.
guiding you through New York to certain areas.
No.
So it's not like you can just go anywhere
We've
you
gotten
want.
spoiled. We've gotten spoiled with free reign. We've
Yeah.
got spoiled with open free reign play style, which is how it should be because you don't want that limitation anymore.
Like take Fable for instance.
Oh God.
Fable 3, open world. You can do whatever you want. Go have babies and everything, but it was freedom. You know
Exactly.
what I mean? You choose
You
your own
can
story.
all you had to do, with all the Fables.
Yeah.
You know, all you had to do was find the gate to go to the next city. You know, you can transfer to the city
this
quicker.
ain't that.
You know, Red Dead Revolver, Red Dead Redemption,
Yeah.
open world. You can. That's what made it so much fun. Look, I can still play Red Dead. Not
Grand
have to
Theft
go
Auto.
after a bounties. Grand Theft Auto is a perfect fucking example.
I go online just to kill people.
Yeah.
I terrorize people.
And yes, we
My
said
armored
that
car.
because let's face it, every hardcore gamer has done that. Me and my brother, from the very inception
Fucking
of
up
Grand
people's
Theft
money.
Auto, we would sit up there and get on the original Grand Theft Auto when you had the bird's eye.
Oh yeah.
We would get in there and just raise hell just for the cops to come. We would find the paint shop first.
You gotta know the paint shops.
So once we knew where the paint shop was, we'll get the best car we could get. We'll jack the best car we can get our hands on.
Yeah.
Tear ass through the city. Wait till we got all the cops, got all the SWAT teams, got everybody chasing us, kept it near the vicinity of that paint shop, and then went to that paint shop and waited till it all died down just to do it all over. We barely completed missions. I'm telling you now.
Oh yeah, there were no missions. I mean, missions are cool, but any true gamer worth their salt know them missions are always gonna be there.
Right.
Hell, I got bank heists on GTA. I still ain't done, and I've been playing the game for 2 years now.
So I mean,
I still got missions I ain't done.
Red Dead, I would take my horse and just ride from city to city. Just ride to city because that whole feeling of being on horseback and just going from one town to another.
I seen this meme about GTA. It was like your boyfriend got mad, so he took a 30-minute drive on GTA and still ain't got out the car. Like it's just the immersion of some of these games, and it's only getting better. So for you to put out a product that isn't AAA quality, and for those who don't know, a AAA game is pretty much like those big name games, Madden, 2K, GTA, and then you have your AA games, which are still kind of top tier games, but they're not those big name everyday games, Rocket Leagues and stuff like that. Fortnite, you know those. Well, I guess Fortnite can now be considered AAA. I guess.
Yeah, it gets to the point where it's making money.
You can't put out a AAA game without it being AAA because people are gonna know this day, and especially this year alone, where everybody's at home playing games, limited money, and not really, you know, because like prime example, Modern Warfare came out.
Yeah.
October. They just had a new one come out last night or the night before.
Exactly.
Two different companies, same umbrella, same game, Call of Duty, but they're two different companies that make them. So it just goes to show that they're pumping out games like that, but sometimes the quality, like some people say they don't like that, and I won't get it because I'm not really a Black Ops guy. I'm more of a Modern Warfare person, just because the company that makes Call of Duty, the Modern Warfare, just to me does a better job. But it just like I said, this day and age right now, this year alone, when you're putting out games and people have limited funds or have more time to really dissect the games and cut it down, you know, you're seeing a lot more people with reviews that are reflective of them actually getting to be able to put time into these games instead of, you know, 6 months worth of work now being done in 3 days.
Yeah, you're rushing it. When you rush it, you don't never have a good turnout. It just sucks. It just sucks.
And so you gotta, and every game's gonna have its bugs. Every system's gonna have its bugs. So
I mean, Assassin's Creed is like that. Assassin's Creed is a free reign game. I mean, come on, how many? You know good and well that you went on the top of the tallest chapel and swan dived, or better yet, took to the tallest chapel till you found that what was it, that eagle, and jumped up and was able to touch that eagle's back and then dive.
Oh yeah.
You know, and then fall into a haystack, knowing good and full well that in reality that shit would not work.
No. But that's the beauty of these games, man. You can just that's the beauty of these games. And now with the next gen and the way they look and feel, they're more responsive.
Mm-hmm.
The thing I love about PlayStation, and that's an oxymoron, me saying I love PlayStation, but they have what they call haptic feedback in their remotes.
Oh, yeah.
So you're gonna feel like you're playing UFC. You're gonna feel the rumble in the stick accordingly to how it's feeling it would feel in real life.
The haptic feedback is probably the best thing I've ever witnessed.
Yeah,
I didn't think I would like it that much, but I enjoy it.
And now the remote, it's in the I want to say like the triggers too. So now you're getting more like when you're playing Madden, you're gonna feel those hits more responsive.
So your response time is gonna be way different.
Yeah. So when you're
it ain't, yeah.
Like and they made the point of saying they want you to feel every blade of grass differently, you know, each time. So that remote and that response and the way you get hit, or if you're playing 2K with the way the ball dribbles, you're gonna feel it.
That's gonna be dope. That's dope.
And that's probably why I would get a PS, you know, just the slim version later on down the road, you know, just because one, to say I got both, but I mean it's not really a bragging thing. It's just I want to try it out because as a person who plays, like the Xbox, the one I have now, it vibrates, but it's not like a like
true
a constant
haptic
vibrate, you know. It's
you know,
so it's like the same vibration.
yeah. It
varies
kind of late to the party
from game to game. Like I play Call of Duty, you know, you're getting shot, you feel it, but I feel like on the PlayStation, the way they're feeling, you're gonna feel it, you know, differently.
Okay.
So I mean, you feel it in the vibration. Now it's just the way they're talking. It's supposed to be a better feel to it, you know, more responsive and more smoother.
Right. Have you heard anything about Watch Dogs Legion?
I never got into the Watch Dogs games.
Mm-hmm.
I've tried one. I put those games in the category of thought process. You know, those are those games where you gotta, you know, actually pay attention to the game to get ahead. There was a game Yakuza.
Oh yeah.
I played that. That game was actually fun. Those games are fun. Just I don't have the time. Myself.
I'm gonna tell you a game that will, a game where you can get away with not really having free reign, where you're limited on maps. Is games like Crash Bandicoot.
Oh yeah, I mean those games.
That's a game that game will give you replay value, and then you can get away with having limitation.
Yeah, I mean, but those are games everybody grew up with, so you already know those games, even coming to next gen, are still gonna have that. They're gonna keep that nostalgic feel to it.
Yeah,
like those are those type of games. You don't have to change much to it. Just update the graphics, add more characters, maybe more maps. You know, like Mario. Mario's been the same game
exactly.
Who knows how long?
Even their latest
people hated it.
even now when what's the latest one when he can. Even their free reign really isn't free reign because it's all desert. You're just looking at you still have to go to the castle. So it's not really so much free reign. It's just this is just a different look, you know.
But those are not games that started with free roam. So, you know, like I said, it's the nostalgia factor of those type of games. People who know those games and want to stay true to those games don't care about free roaming.
Exactly.
You know.
And that's what makes
you'll have some younger
Mario
people
Kart.
like
Mario Kart, you can play the same freaking
map all day long,
all day, just because you're just racing against it. But see, that's the quality.
That's the replay factor of that game. You know what you're getting. It's a racing game, a campy racing game where you have turtles and that's what makes that game fun. It's because you can sabotage other people.
Yeah, so it's just I think this is why. Not Star Wars Battlefronts, but the pilot game for Star Wars. That's something different.
Yeah.
it's something different because you get free roam now, and this really hasn't been done to this degree. Like there were stages on other games where you like, okay, yeah, you get a quick, okay, we got the starship to this thing, and you might do a quick dog fight or whatever, and then it's done. But it was never designed as a full flat out, this is the game. This is, and that was always the fun part.
Yeah.
Even in the Star Wars Legos, you have limitations, but you have so much to do. You know, so many boards to play.
Those are another ones that are just fun to play. Those Lego ones.
Yeah, any of them.
Like they feel younger. Like they feel like young kids should be playing it, but they actually are. I feel like the Avengers Lego is better than the Avengers.
It is. The Avengers Lego is way better because you have 150, I think 151 unlockable characters.
Yeah.
That's a lot of gameplay.
Yeah, I mean, just the grind to get those games, to get those characters is what's going to be fun. And then to unlock them and be able to play with all of them and it feel like you're playing with, you know, whoever it is, you just unlock and get their full potential.
Yeah.
See, I think the problem with the Avengers game, it has limitations on the potential of the Avengers. Meaning you can use their powers, but it had limitations on how you can use it or how long you can use it. Like you could get the Hulk Buster armor, but it was like 5-10 seconds.
Okay.
You know what
see,
I mean?
And see, like I was watching a gameplay where somebody was doing Thor and they're explaining the gameplay and the walkthrough of it. And I'm just kind of like, I mean, it looks cool, but I'm like,
visually it's amazing other than the characters. I mean, the Abomination looks good. MODOK looks good. Like the whole game looks good.
It's just the play. It's the replay value.
Play well.
Yeah.
And like I said, I haven't picked it up in a while, and I might do it tomorrow just as a
recap or something.
Just to go back and see what they kind of updated and see if it feels any different. Because another thing is, it's one of those games you can't play a long period of time. You know, like 2K, you can play for hours and hours and hours. Man, you can play for hours and hours. Even, you know, Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto, those games you can play for hours and hours. This is one of those games you can play for an hour or two, and then it just feels like it's getting stale. So you put it down and come back. Or sometimes you just put it down and don't come back for a while.
See, that's what I was talking about with the gameplay walkthrough somebody was doing, and it was with Thor, and it was just the same kind of mood, and I'm just kind of
and I feel bad because I championed the game. Like I thought it was going to be. They sold us a bill of goods.
right.
Like, because I felt like it had potential. I felt like they were saying you just saying all the right things. From what you're showing us, it looks promising, but it just the replay value and the bugs and there was glitches in it. You know what I mean? It just.
But that's a lot. 63 million in losses. It just seemed like, where did we go wrong?
The ambition.
And I'm like, there's so you went wrong in the ambition department because you could have done so much.
They
more.
went big early in the game. Before the game even came out, they went too big, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And like I said, the story mode. I will say this: the actual story mode was good.
Mm-hmm.
It was an original story, and it was fun to play. But it didn't last that long. You can grind it out in a day, you know.
Yeah, that's not much of anything. Done with it.
So now you're just running around doing all these side missions, which are pretty much the same map, just in different areas.
That's crazy.
So it just, I mean, they had the Inhumans in it. They had a lot of stuff. AIM is the main.
But see, that's the thing. You have all of this going on, and you drop the ball. Or we can sometimes your story mode can go further along. You know.
Well, they short stopped it because their plan is to introduce a new character and add to the story mode. which is cool. But if you're not dropping the character, but every 3 months, that's
a
old
problem.
quick.
Yeah, that's a problem.
You know, because like I said, Kate Bishop was supposed to be in October, and then they moved up T'Challa to. It was supposed to be December, I guess. I don't know. They never gave us a timeline on characters. They never gave us a full character list, like who they're dropping. They're trying to keep it secret. Like you're dropping these hints on Twitter, like here's who might be next, and you know they putting up.
The pictures and stuff I was seeing. Yeah,
so just like stop trying to be secretive with the damn game and just let us know who's coming and give them to us. You know.
So it seems like
better because that anticipation just makes it longer because now we're playing this broken game and we're not getting nothing new, but every 3 months to add to a story that's already. I don't know how much you can add with this new character, which really doesn't seem to have much to do with the story mode we didn't already play, unless you're branching it, which is cool, but it
fell apart.
It fell apart fast, and there are a lot of people who's not happy.
Well, that's our gaming section. But
if you're gonna get a system, I would say wait till
the second quarter,
maybe January, March, somewhere around there.
But
if
considered,
have to get one, get that warranty.
Please get a warranty, newbies. Jeez.
Protect your investment. I almost got caught up in getting one, and I'm still debating whether
I'm surprised. I'm really surprised at how many friends I know jumped on it already this week, and I'm just like, yeah, Chris, you ain't getting it. Nah.
Well, my thing is the 2K, and I only want to get it because the 2K looks amazing. Now, Madden's next gen, and here's another thing about Madden, they're not only not showing anything about their next gen, but they also now delayed it till December 4th.
It's a lot of delays this year.
Well, the Madden delay, in my theory is, and it's just a conspiracy theory, people don't quote me, and it's one that I've also heard other places, is they don't want to have to compete with 2K's next gen. Because, like I said, 2K pretty much tore it down to the studs and rebuilt a whole new game damn near. Whereas Madden, I don't think they're, and another reason why Madden is falling off is franchise mode.
Yeah.
For those who don't know.
Yeah, Courtney mentioned that before.
I'm a hardcore franchise player. And I broke my own rule because I bought the new Madden because I have people who I play dedicated leagues with, you know. I'm talking about years of these leagues. Like we draft a team or play with a regular team and go 4, 5, 6 years into the season and maybe start a new one, but we're still, playing. So, but their franchise mode is bare bones. Like it doesn't have anything to it anymore. Like all the features 40 times, like the combine and all these little mini games, like, to make it, they took all the stuff out to go to the next gen, which was 10 years ago. Because the console drops every 10 years or so. So when they went from 360 to the new Xbox, or, from the PlayStation 3 to PlayStation 4, there's a lot of things they took out of the game because of storage. When you're going from one system to the next, you're gaining storage, but you're also kind of losing some things, I guess. But their excuse was we had to take these things out, and then they slowly start trying to sell it back to us like it was new. And so that's EA's biggest problem. It's not that they're resting on our name, it's that they trying to outsmart people for the money. And they got this cash grab called MUT, which is where you buy these cards to build a team to play other people online. So you got people, one guy said he spent thousands of dollars on buying cards just to have the best team for these tournaments and stuff, which is a waste of time. Because that mode is mainly for the casual players.
That's great.
Most of your hardcore Madden players are like me. They play franchise. I hear a lot of cats doing the franchise mode. I mean, even when I'm at work, cats is talking franchise. Yeah, because it gives you that again. It's all about being able to immerse yourself into that world. You know,
Yeah.
guys who used to play, coach, and all that.
Yeah,
You can
right,
either
right.
build a coach, be a GM, or build your own player, and then you go into this and you go through the day. You used to be able to go through the day-to-day of running a team. I mean, like ticket sales, injury reports, managing money.
Yeah.
Now it's just like watered down to where you don't even have to think. Like, you just put a team out there and just go.
Once again, like you said, it's all about the immersion.
Yeah,
feeling like that.
2K is killing the immersion game. Like, MLB The Show is pretty good.
Yeah.
They're also not only exclusive to PlayStation anymore, though.
I'm seeing a lot of cross-platform games.
Well, they're not cross-platforming. They're actually going to Xbox as well.
Okay.
So they're going to be sold on Xbox and PlayStation. Not sure when. It's supposed to be 2021, so it's supposed to be next year, but they haven't given us a release date because MLB The Show was exclusive only to PlayStation.
Yeah.
But they're losing out on money because Xbox doesn't have a real base. They got like RIB baseball, like some crappy.
It was never great.
Games,
their sports section was never really that great.
Yeah, so
but they never relied on that neither. I think the most they relied on was their wrestling.
Oh yeah,
that was it.
Wrestling is taking a year off.
Yeah,
so they have. It's just so much getting delayed or pushed back because, like, even going to the wrestling, their last one, so many glitches, so many bugs because it was a copy and paste of 19.
Yeah.
So 20 was bad. They scrapped 21. They gave us some arcade 2D1, which I haven't played and won't play. And they're supposed to be going back to the drawing board for the next one. Madden is supposed to be doing the same thing, but it's just like too little too late.
Yeah.
Like they just did an update for franchise mode, but again, it's like little things that should have already been in the game. And they're planning
they're losing their base. Like they gradually lost their base as time went on. Anyway,
I wouldn't say gradually. It's been a steady uprising, and it came to the point to where if you were on Twitter back in July, August, around that time, there was a hashtag called Fix Madden Franchise.
Oh yeah, I remember you told me about that.
Number one for a long time because I even jumped on it because it just got to the point to where every year you look at Madden and you're ready for it because it's the only, like I said, exclusive simulation football game. So it's going to get you the closest to feeling like you're really running that team, really a part of that, what goes on throughout the week for a team and every Sunday. But they, like I said, they took so much out and slowly started trying to sell it back and then started coming out with all these other game modes that were pandering to the lowest common denominator of football fans. And I hate to say it that way, but it's true because you have little kids who will get mommy and daddy's credit card and start playing button, racking up $100 worth of purchases just to try to get a good team. You buy these deck of cards like you would in a store, and that's your fantasy team. You know what I mean?
Crazy.
So you were buying a pack hoping you would get, and then it wasn't no better because you got famous like YouTubers showing that they're getting these packs and getting like all these superstar cards, not knowing that they're being given to the YouTubers. And for you to get these cards, you have to pay hand over fist. So that's Madden's downfall, is that they started trying to pander to making money over making people happy. And that they're their biggest fan base is, like I said, franchise players, and those and being a part of that community of people. I got friends who I wasn't gonna buy this year's Madden. Like I really wasn't.
You said you was gonna sit that out.
I was gonna sit this one out, and I let them talk me into it because again, I love playing franchise. I love building a team, the ins and out of running that team. Making decisions on players and contracts and just a little minor stuff that the real fan loves about football. Not just going out there playing the game and that's it. It's a lot more that can be done with it to where it feels like Grand Theft Auto, but they took so much out of it that it just made it kind of trash. Man.
Well, so you say you would suggest just to go for the PS5? Or is it still the undecided, or is it still a level playing field?
For me,
Yeah.
I'm an Xbox guy, so that's just that. And it's only because I know too many people that play Xbox, so
Yeah, I'm coming across
against people.
I'm coming across that myself. People are like, "Hey, Chris, come on, let's play on Thursday or something." I'm like, "What y'all got? Xbox?" And I'm like,
yeah, I mean, it's just, but socially, Xbox to me just feels better. PlayStation used to get hacked a lot, so that's
what I was
why
going to say.
A lot of people turned over to Xbox.
That's what I was going to say.
But I look at my friends list. I have maybe 100 people on there. I don't know 100 people that play PlayStation.
Yeah.
And that's just people that I added. I mean, I'm pretty sure I know more people who has an Xbox than I just. Courtney, still ducking. Yeah, you're still ducking me, Courtney. Still ducking me on the Xbox, man. But, oh man. I mean, I guess it's preference when it comes down to the system. I mean, for somebody who never had one and is deciding, do your research. Yeah. Really just sit down and look at all the specs, look at the hardware, and think about what you want and what you feel you need. Because if you're just getting the system based off other people's opinions, you might not like it. I mean, all your friends might be PlayStation guys, but you don't really. I mean, I know some people who don't like PlayStation because of the controller, simply just because of the controller side. Yeah. I know some people who don't like Xbox because they feel the controller's too big. So
yeah, I was one of those, and then I was one of those. I've had a PlayStation, and I've had an Xbox. Now the Xbox is the only thing I've always had a Sony PlayStation, always. Mm-hmm. But I had the very first Xbox, and I felt that same way.
For me, the PlayStation controller feel too small.
Yeah, but that was the thing. It was, but I adjusted quickly because gamer. So I adjusted, and I'm like, okay, this don't feel so bad. And I rolled it out for like almost, I had that Xbox for a couple years before I got the red ring of death. That's what caused me to be like,
I got that once and I got it fixed, but
that's what prompted me to get a PS3. Was the red ring of death, and I'm like, all right, just get a PS3, and got the PS3. Was fine. Still had a PS3. Never got the PS4, because guess what? Being Wayne Brady of the group, I'm on all these shows, so I'm like, so really don't have a lot of time. So, I who knows what's going to happen for the next following season, because I can't even remember how many episodes we're in right now. I think we're episode 4.
This one, yeah.
Yeah, we got 4 more episodes. I don't know how long. I don't want to take too big of a break from Blurred's Eye. I got to get that brand up, we're trying to work some things going, but I probably just spaced out my episodes and to kind of take the edge off.
Have to, man. But yeah, I would say research, because I don't go to your best friend Bob down the street. Don't go to little Billy who worked somewhere. Really like read tech books. The sites that are dedicated to this is all they do is review technology. Yeah. Because they're gonna really break it down. Like Xbox has a different hard drive than PlayStation. Mm-hmm. Xbox uses a solid state drive and a hard drive.
Yeah.
Whereas Xbox PlayStation only use one. I can't remember which one. So
I think
those are
things
you might want to think about.
I think they just have a hard drive.
Yeah. So those are things you want to think about. If you're somebody who plays a lot of games, you're gonna need a lot of memory. Look at the graphics. Look at how many frame rates you're getting. They might not seem like, to the average person, you're like, none of that matters. But once you start playing and you see the difference in the graphics, it makes a whole world of difference.
Yeah, I'm trying to see PS5. I'm looking at I think theirs is a hard drive.
Yeah, I believe it is.
Yeah.
But like the specs, you want to look at the specs, look at the hardware, look at.
Oh no, they have they got a solid state drive.
Okay.
It's large. Okay, they got a solid state drive.
Okay, I knew it was one of the other. But yeah, so those are important things to think about when you're buying a system. So research,
Yeah.
do your homework. Like I said, think about your needs, think about what you want, because the X, might not be for everybody. Some people, the difference between the X and the S for the Xbox is the X takes this, while the S is digital, but the S has less power.
True.
But that, like I said,
it's like the iPhone. It's like the iPhone. Anything,
Yeah.
Just get the bigger one. If you're gonna get one, just get the bigger one. Screw it.
Here's my analogy. The S is a diet. It's a diet version. It's a little watered down. It's keto.
It's keto.
You have the X is going to be your Coke, and the X is going to be your Diet Coke. Same product, just different formula.
That's it.
Does different things. So, and it's a different price. The X is $4.99 while the S is $2.99.
Yeah.
Or $3.99.
Yeah. And then it depends on your pocket.
That too.
It depends on your pocket too. So
I know some people who really wanted the X, but all they had was the S, so they settled for now. And then they was like, "I'm gonna get this to my kids, and then go back." Me, I'm not gonna settle.
Like, go big or go home.
When I get my system, it's gonna be the X or nothing. I'm not. I'll wait. I'll play the long game.
Here, let me. Yeah, thank you. I was gonna say never listen to the listeners out there. Never shortchange yourself. Go for the long game.
Yeah, because in the long run, like I said, the X just is gonna do more for me. I mean, graphics wise, frame rates, it's power.
Yeah.
You're paying for the power, pretty much. You're paying for the power, you're paying for the look. When you pop that game on and you see it, you want it to look damn near like you're watching the real game.
Yeah.
And that's where we're going with these systems. I'm pretty sure PlayStation, whatever their two different model version names are, is the same way. You have the light version.
I'm gonna tell you now, the Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
I've heard it's pretty decent.
I am really looking forward to this one. Now, this one is not co-op, but you can create your own character, and it's a female character.
Yeah,
and you can create, so you can go male or female, but it's not co-op, but people can play your character online. So it's not so much 2-player or multiplayer, something to that effect.
That's weird, but I mean,
it's weird. Yeah, it's weird. Like if we online, obviously you gotta have each other's tags, obviously.
Yeah.
But
my player will be in your world.
Yeah, your player will be in my camp, and vice versa. That type of thing. And that's cool, because I'm pretty sure you're not gonna take my character out there and just like, I'm gonna get this bitch fucked up. No, you're not.
Take him out to
get some stats for
polar bear eat him.
Yeah, right. Polar bear. But yeah, between that, God of War, obviously big draw.
Oh yeah.
But the biggest draw is possibly that Miles Morales Spider-Man
and that would be the reason I would get the PlayStation Lite.
Yeah, that is the biggest. I've heard nothing but good.
Oh, I mean, playing the Spider-Man game and seeing Miles in that game, and just like I said, that's a game full of customization. They have so many different suits.
I love their suits. I love
so
the
many different powers that come with the suits that just makes that game.
Now the gameplay for that looks fantastic.
And and people might not know this, but in the remastered version, Spider-Man looks a little more like Tom Holland.
Yes, he does. They changed it up a little bit
because of Tom Holland.
Yeah.
So
they show. I remember seeing
a little more.
They're playing it close to the chest, and I'm glad they're doing it. So
they're trying to keep it, real to Marvel, which again, the Avengers game didn't do totally.
Yeah, but it shows you the tit for tat. It shows you where you should be going. Take note, out there for you game developers, game designers. Just kind of listen. Go for the long game.
Yeah, but
we want to do something different, but go for the long game. See, Avenger, I think, and I'm sure you agree with me, you wouldn't have lost that $63 million in revenue if you had played the long game. Saying, yeah, it may not look like the Avengers from the films, but we still have a free roaming game, and it goes, you have some replayable value to it.
Yeah, because they have regions, but like I said, they all look like the same map, just in different colors.
Right.
Like it's just it doesn't feel
there's
free.
There's no flow to it.
Like even the DC Universe game is a little more free roaming than this.
Oh hell yeah!
Like this, it just, like I said, it feels scripted to where you have.
That's why I was shocked. That's why I was shocked. It was still like, oh, people still play DC Universe online. I was shocked because I stopped playing it.
I haven't played it in a while, but I
haven't. They're still throwing patches on it because it's such a, a free
they even
range.
Threw some of the patches on there for like the movies.
Yeah, it's such a huge. I'm like, okay, I can see why. Like, I'm part of the two camps. I can't even remember what the two camps are anymore because I haven't played it so long.
But that's the biggest draw to games now is one, immersion, and two, free will.
Yeah.
Being able to freely move without feeling like you're forcing me to play the game your way and I can just do anything I want and go crazy with the game and still have fun is what makes the game fun.
I think when they first started DC Universe Online, the first thing people thought was like, oh, I'm going to be Batman, or I'm going to be Wonder Woman, or I'm going to be Superman. And they said, no,
you're not.
You get to create your own character,
sort of like
based off of certain abilities that these characters have. So you can have a combination of these things. And that's what was such the big draw. And I'm like, oh, that's even better.
Yeah.
So.
Because I know Marvel had a game, but they just got rid of it because of the new Avengers game. But it was just pretty much you could be those characters. Like you were really Iron Man and all those. And it wasn't really free roaming all the way, but it's still better than this game we got now.
Right. Well,
fortunately.
So, in retrospect, it all depends on what your pockets look like. Do your research. And do your homework. Yes, you're still in school.
3 to 4 sites. I would say go to 3 to 4 sites.
Game Informer, GameSpot.
I mean, there's
Game Insider,
Tech Radar, or something like
Tech
that.
Radar, yeah, that's stuff.
Just type in PlayStation 5 versus Xbox X, and side by side comparison. Read the reviews.
And then like and then it's the other thing that really is a big draw is what game are you wanting to play?
Yeah,
and
that's
what are you willing to do? Because if you want an Xbox but you love the way the Spider-Man Morales game looks,
get the PlayStation.
Yeah, you might as well get the PlayStation. You might as well go big.
Yeah,
because you're gonna come across their library isn't done, obviously, but and like I said, they have more cross-platform games now, than ever before. You got
talking about trying to make Madden one.
Yeah, Madden's another one. So, whenever they do get released, like Cyberpunk 2077, that's a cross-platform game again. Yeah, Assassin's Creed cross-platform. I believe God of War is cross-platform.
Yeah, I mean, I think eventually all games are probably gonna go cross-platform, and that's just a hunch because you're missing out on the market.
You are
having people who have both systems, like one or the other, and have friends that have one or the other. Like I know some guys on PlayStation who I play Call of Duty with, and he had a PlayStation because he went to go get an Xbox and they didn't have it. And he's like, "Fuck it, I'm getting a PlayStation."
Yeah.
So, so
it's going to come down. Eventually, it's going to come down to
the market is too big. There's too many games out there for you not to be able to just say, fuck it, I'm gonna spend 60 here, my friend's spending 60 there, we're playing the same game against each other on different systems.
That's it,
because the technology is there.
It just depends on, and not all games will be cross-platform. I don't see not all
games should,
but a good majority of their libraries will be, and then it's just going to be those exclusive games that is just for Xbox or that
Halo for Xbox,
right?
God of War for PlayStation.
Yeah, so I mean, it just for PlayStation. So it just all depends. It's just your preference. Do your research. and understand, like, certain things are just gonna fit and some aren't.
And also keep in mind that the next gen library isn't really big right now.
No, it's not.
You only have a few games that are truly
Next gen.
enhanced. Like you have some games that are enhanced, and know the difference between enhanced for next gen and all the way next gen.
Mm-hmm.
Because like Madden is enhanced for next gen, but the version I have is not next gen.
It's the equivalent of HD, and it's called the equivalent of the HD Blu-ray argument.
Yep.
And we all know who won out on that one.
I mean, it's like, yeah, let's say it's like that. It's also like true 3D and real 3D. How you have that argument of what the different levels of 3D is that, because with the enhancement you're getting up to 4K, but you're not getting 4K.
Okay. Yep.
Because like I said, the big boy versions of the PlayStation and Xbox does 4K and beyond. Mm-hmm. The smaller versions does up to 4K, but it's not true 4K.
Right.
So if you have a 4K TV, it's gonna be enhanced by the 4K, but it's not gonna be true 4K. I used to sell TVs, and people were like, "Well, how can you tell the difference? It's the pixels and the picture." The naked eye is not gonna know the difference, but people who watch a lot of TV or
they'll pick up on
those, you'll pick up the difference and you'll know it.
Yeah.
So those are things to think about as well. Is like if you don't have a 4K TV, I mean, you're getting the big boy version. You're gonna get up to 4K on your TV, but it's not gonna be true 4K.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna get 1080 running on a 4K system, so it's gonna look better, but it's not gonna get you your true capability as if you had a 4K TV. So that's another thing to think about.
There it is. Well, everybody, before we close out, I wanted to touch on something, and for your hip hop heads, lo-fi hip hop heads out there, I want you to check out Thundercat.
Oh God, I am a fan now.
Now, I don't know how D got slipped up on this. Me and Brandy knew about this cat already, but
it was on Facebook.
Yeah,
I was actually scrolling through Facebook, and I was like, Dragon Ball Do-Rag.
Yeah, please check it out. His stuff bumps. All right, I'm not gonna lie, his stuff bumps, but you gotta listen to the words. Number one, and number two, check out the video for Dragon Ball Do-Rag.
Oh my God.
It will have you in tears. It will have you in tears.
It's
a smooth song. It's smooth.
I thought it was like a parody. I didn't think he was like a real. And that's because I don't really listen to like a lot of I'm not gonna say underground artists, but
he did a Tiny Desk time. He did the NPR Tiny Desk concert. He did a Tiny Desk concert.
See, I don't watch those enough. Like unless I know the name, I'll check it out. Like T-Pain's, I checked out.
Yeah.
A couple other like bigger name players, but yeah, I'm a fan of his. He got a fan in me now. I'm gonna go back and listen to some.
Check out Dragon Ball Do-Rag. You'll be in tears.
But it's a good song.
It really is. It really is.
It's just the video that makes it not seem right. The video don't match the song, but it's one of those cases to where it's not a bad thing, because you had some songs in the video you'd be like, what the, this has nothing to do with the song,
right?
Like at all.
But that was hilarious.
It's a good song and a good video.
And one other thing to check out, if you haven't seen it, last Saturday, Dave Chappelle hosted SNL once again. 4 years later to the day, he hosted SNL again, and he did a hilarious monologue. And his skit, the first skit he did, has you in tears.
Yeah, that was a good episode.
All I'll say is Aunt Jemima, Uncle Ben, the All-State guy, and Count Chocula. I'll just leave it at that.
Oh, he got at Pete Davidson's lips though. Oh, man. Like, he really broke character.
He broke character where they was just like, well, what about him? He's the All-State guy, and he stood up and couldn't stop laughing. He had already broke character.
The part where Pete Davidson came in, he's like, look, America, doesn't Pete Davidson have big ass lips? Like this not even a joke. Like look at his lips.
He was like, but I'm made of chocolate. He was like, shut up, you chocolated nigga. Like,
and what they let him get away with saying.
They let him get away with it all. And I was all for it. I'm like, you know what? That's why you're in my top 10.
Oh,
that's why you're in my top 10.
That's why he's the top.
You know, so Chappelle he's not even underrated because my man just got an Emmy this year. Oh, so he's well known. He's well known, you know. So whether you think it's the old Chappelle or the new Chappelle, Chappelle is Chappelle. He's always brought that social commentary to the table.
And he said that it's crazy that he got to tell jokes for people to hear his truth.
Exactly. He said that in the monologue.
Like, that is true because he's saying some real shit, but nobody take it seriously until he put in a joke and then people actually listen to it.
Right. What did he say about he's like, he put a show on in the farm because he still stays in Ohio.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm willing to drive to Yellow Springs just to see.
Oh, yeah. It's down by Columbus.
Yeah, so he
says, the farmers get mad at him.
The farmers get mad because they're keeping his kids up and they're like, all they hear is N-word, N-word, N-word. He was like, well,
who's saying
am I saying it or are you saying it? So I mean, Chappelle's always been funny to me.
YouTube,
always been funny.
It's on YouTube.
So, yeah, it definitely. That's something I've been noticing. YouTube, like if you missed the night before,
yeah, it's on there.
They drop it in segments.
Yeah, you can
like
watch
the next day
segment.
So
each kid is on there. They break down the beauty, but they break it up to where you can just go watch that scene.
One piece. Yeah, that one thing.
You know, that one scene they had to count the Allstate one and the news desk one. And
his Allstate voice was hilarious. I make white people feel safe.
Yeah, they had that voice distorter on there, and you can hear it when it hit due to the desk a little bit too because it got distorted.
Yeah,
but it was still well done.
But yeah, still some funny stuff.
Oh,
you know,
Joe Biden. Jim Carrey is Joe Biden. He did the Ace Ventura.
Yeah. Like, love it or hate it, man. It's still some good stuff left. You know, they knew what to do. They knew who to bring in.
Oh yeah, they
look. Maya Rudolph isn't even in the cast anymore, and they keep bringing her back in. It seems like now
Alec Baldwin won't leave. They said he will not.
Like he will not leave out. He won't leave out of the 30 Rock building. So he's just like, screw it.
I seen a headline. It was like Alec Baldwin refuses to leave SNL.
He's trying to beat Kenan Thompson for the longest person to work there. Oh man. But yeah, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching if you watched out there, because I did not keep track on the Facebook page.
Yeah.
I didn't really push it tonight. So but that's okay because it's going up on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. So you can listen to Blurred's Eye View anywhere.
Sorry if we missed y'all comments when y'all probably talking to me.
Yeah, that's okay. Because it's like it's Saturday.
We'll go back and read them.
Yeah, whatever. So any closing shout out you would do, DC?
Yes. Smoking Reviews is going to be tomorrow, so look out for that. What the Shit will be back November 29th after we're all fat and happy and everybody's went out shopping and destroying shit for Black Friday. You little heathens, I can see y'all out there right now knocking over little old ladies for a baby doll.
And another rise, and another outbreak will happen.
Put your damn mask on because they talking about shutting shit down again. And if that happens, I'm fucking going crazy.
Oh my god.
We've been through shutdown. Can't do another one.
You know when you have 130 Secret Servicemen break down and have the virus, you wonder why.
Not a good look, people. Clean your shit up. Starts at home.
Stop listening to ignorance. Listen to the science.
Yeah.
Listen to the science.
I don't care if Billy down the street ain't got a mask on. Put your damn mask on. I went bowling last night. And at the bowling alley, apparently now the new rule is anywhere in public, you got to have a mask on.
That's it.
Like before, it was you could have your mask off at your table while you're eating, but everybody was like 6 feet apart. You can have it off at your table or as you just walking around the alley. Nope. Now it's unless you own the lane, about to roll the ball, your mask is on.
That's it. That's
so, they're cracking down, people, and they're trying to,
They're trying to get rid of this thing. Don't be ignorant about it. Just
because I don't want the damn vaccine because I don't believe in that. I don't know.
Especially if they're talking. I mean, I don't care. Here's the thing: us as Black people, we have a severe distrust. Thank you. We have a severe distrust of things that come out first, right away. And I'm not going to take that right away. I'm not because once again, it's just like the PS5, Xbox. I'll wait till after that
first wave. Tainted as fuck.
I'll wait till after the first
nipples.
They were like, "Well, aren't you like? Look, I'm wearing my mask. I'm at home. I don't have to wear the mask. But
I
when
wear my mask everywhere now.
The only place I don't wear my mask besides inside the house is if I'm walking to my car. Why? Because no one else is around me.
I don't wear mine in my car. I feel like people who wear theirs in their car,
they look stupid.
Are afraid of their own breath, or like the smell of their own breath.
The people, I'm gonna be honest with you, people. If you sit in your car by yourself, no one's in the car. If you're not a taxi driver or Uber driver or something like that, and you wear a mask in the car with the windows up, and the mask is on your face, why?
You're a psychopath. Plain and simple.
Think, people. Don't let the fear control you. You're outside. As long as you're not in a crowd of people walking, take the mask while you're outside. Get some air. If you're by yourself, just say that. If you're by yourself, you're fine. If you're with your wife or husband, you're fine. But if there's people that don't live in your house that are around you, wear your damn mask. You don't know what the hell they got. You don't know where they been.
Period.
I just told my wife, I said, you know what? We got Thanksgiving coming up. I don't want my daughter to invite nobody over here. Don't come over here. No, you don't live here. I don't care. Stay your ass over there.
And that's another thing.
I can't even go see my parents. You know what I'm saying? So, stay your ass over there. Stay away. Don't need you.
If it ain't family, they don't need to be there.
Right.
I'm having some people over, the in-laws and my mom and brother, small little under 10 people, I believe, something like that. But I'm not doing that outrageous. I'm not going to no stores. I'm not going no shopping. I don't want to do that now. Damn sure.
Unfortunately, I have to go to Walmart around this time of year because I have to get the dinner for Thanksgiving together.
Yeah, I've been going.
I plan ahead, so
we already. Our Christmas shopping almost done.
What is that? After that, I just had a plan ahead. I don't plan ahead for Christmas. I just don't. I figure, I'm like, look, you got gas, you got lights,
you guys, Merry Christmas.
I'm off the hook. Don't you want to open your present? It better be a check.
Or a paid bill.
A paid bill, right? Did you pay that cell phone for me? You did? Thank you. Merry Christmas.
But yeah, people, wear your mask and stay safe. If you're gonna do Black Friday shopping, do it from the comfort of your own home. Pretty much everybody.
So everybody else is. No Wish. Don't do Wish.
Oh yeah, don't do Wish.
Nah, do Wish.
I wish you would do Wish. That shit come.
And if you can, support Black businesses, please. There's plenty of them out there.
Oh, plenty.
I went to an ex co-worker of mine. I checked her out, and she got some. I had got some perfume for my wife, some whipped shea butter for myself. That's right. I got to keep this melanin smooth and
I got in-house. My wife.
That's right.
My wife does it. It's called Rooted. If you're, not doing nothing, go look for it. She's on Facebook. She just came from a thing up in Cleveland. One of them expos where everybody get together and selling stuff. They're doing pretty good. I mean, she makes everything in-house, like literally in the house.
Just like, what is that intoxicating smell?
Man, she gave me this shea butter infused with this like Kush cologne. Oh man, it smells like money.
You said it smells like money.
It smells so good. This lady was like, I went to a patient's house. I was like, what are you wearing? Oh, that's shea butter. Like, but I've never. You haven't never smelled this before. No, it's exclusive. I had it from the first batch.
Oh man, but he's pushing his white stuff. So I'm gonna go to 684 Bedford. There's a nice little plaza in downtown Bedford, 684 Bedford, or 684 Broadway. I'm sorry, 684 Broadway in Bedford. Tell him Chris sent you. Tell him Chris Fury sent you. And ask for Stephanie. And yeah, if you can't find me here on Blurred's Eye View, which you should because it's my show.
I hope so.
I will feel some kind of way if
here. Who you gonna find?
Yeah, like if it's not you, if you and Brandy are here and I'm not, there's a problem.
Yeah.
But it's a huge problem.
That's a shitty show because me and Brandy can't do what you do. Not on this show. They be like, Blurred's Eye View. They was talking about a whole bunch of sex and drugs and stuff. Like, I don't. There was nothing cultural about that show last night.
But you can also catch me on Nerds on Ice. That show comes out every Wednesday. We do not do it. We're not doing it live this season. If you'd like to be on the show, hit us up. Hit me up on Messenger. Not hard to find. Look up under Circle of Nerds. We talk about everything, the hottest things that in pop culture, the hottest topics from the coolest nerds. So you can check that out. You can also check me out on the Cosmic Disaster Show, which is every Friday night live, 10 o'clock, under Circle of Nerds. And you can also catch me on What the Shit with Darius and Courtney, where we have a special guest every now and then, and we just talk man cave shit, but we get serious at the same time. So with
it's
all that being
of everything.
It's a cornucopia of everything. So you get to hear this voice and see this smooth face, and that's how I meant to say it, because that's how it's going down. And with all that being said, if you can find entertain yourself and others, educate yourself and others, and empower yourself and others, and if you can do all of that, then you're an okay person. So until next time, you got Chris Fury, Darius DC Chambers, and hopefully we'll get Brandy back on next week when she's not out cavorting with the masses, but she's being safe. She's being safe.
She has a mask on.
She has her mask on.
Taking Beyonce off key.
I see that. I'm gonna check her on that one.
I put it out there.
All right, but until then, Chris Fury out.
Peace.
Make sure to listen to Blurred's Eye View with your host Chris G on any of your favorite outlets, including Google Podcasts, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Be sure to visit our website at blackgamuttentertainment.com and get the latest on news on our podcast, giveaways, and contests. That's Black Gamut Entertainment, GAMUT Entertainment.com. And thank you for listening.